Nostalgia! What is up, film geeks? My name is Trevor and welcome to my channel. The other day I was sitting around thinking of all my favorite childhood TV shows like Spongebob, Ned's Classified, and I said that would be a really fun video to make. So today I'm sharing with you my top 10 favorite childhood TV shows of all time with a couple honorable mentions. We're going to breeze through those honorable mentions, then hop right into the top 10. Let me know your favorite childhood TV shows down below in the comment section. What is your favorite childhood TV show? How I'm deeming it is on shows that I just don't really watch anymore as I got into my adult years, but like I think about all the time when I think about my childhood. So a show like Avatar: Last Airbender isn't going to be on this list because I still kind of watch that show in my adult years, but all these other ones I haven't seen for a couple years and kind of makes me sad. But let me know your favorite childhood TV show down below in the comment section. Hit that thumbs up button for me, and if this is your first video here, hit that subscribe button for me. Let's get into this, but before we do, I'm going to share with you my honorable mentions, my top 10 list, and I'm going to share with you my favorite episode from each on my top 10 list. Very excited for all this. Let's do this. So starting off with our honorable mentions, we have Shake It Up, Teen Titans, Phineas and Ferb, Danny Phantom, and Ben 10. Ben 10 was like, it was the bee's knees. I absolutely love Ben 10. Can't believe you didn't make the list, but let's hop right into it. Right at number 10, Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. I would say my favorite episode from this show would be the series finale where like Ned is like that wildling kind of character person and he's running around on his field trip and he's trying to choose Susie or Mose. I was always Team Mose, and he ends up picking Mose to be like his girlfriend, and they go on and they live happily ever after. That's the last line of the entire show. This show helped me a lot growing up. I mean, it helped me kind of focus down on school, kind of helped me with problems that I kind of faced, and it really hit hard for everything I was going through. Like, I feel like I could relate a lot with the show, along with a lot of others on this list. I just feel like I could relate to them, and I felt that Ned, Cookie, and Mose, they were an awesome trio. So Ned's Declassified at number 10 with a series finale as my personal favorite episode. Next up at number 9, it's the only one you got, so you gotta live it big time. Burn out. I think I sang the wrong words, but it's Big Time Rush. I absolutely love this and their soundtrack, and I actually still listen to their music. My favorite song is Boyfriend. Ba, 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 ba. I'm going to try not to sing throughout this entire video. It's probably not going to happen. My hair's kind of flopping all over. I would say my favorite episode from this show is the one where they're trying to make a music video, and they hire the janitor, like Gordy, I believe his name is, to like to be their director and their producer so they can create a freedom to make their own music video, and Gustavo's finding out. That was always fun. They got to keep all like their friends try to be in the video so they could all stay and they didn't have to go home, and they got to keep their jobs. It was just cool to see like James, Kendall, Logan, and Carlos like really cared about their friends so they can keep their jobs and they can stay in LA. They try to put them all on their music video. They end up making a really bad music video. Then they all get together and they team up, put their brains together, make a really awesome music video. I always loved that. And I love the music from the show. I loved it. I always shipped Kendall and Joe, and I mean, still to this day. Ba, 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 ba. At number 8, Hannah Montana. I don't even care. We're hopping over to Disney Channel. I loved Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus. They're the same person, but as a kid, I just couldn't wrap my head around that. I would say my favorite episode from Hannah Montana would be like that long hour. I think it's a 2-part special of He Could Be the One. Are you Team Jesse? Are you Team Jake? I was always Team Jesse, okay? But I absolutely love this episode. And the show as a whole, but that one, that He Could Be the One. He could be the one. I'm not going to stop singing. I'm just not going to do it. But Hannah Montana was such a cool show because like there's a famous person going to school with normal kids, living a normal life when she's not that normal. She's a freaking global superstar. That was always so cool to me. I was like, man, I wish I had a double life. Not really, but kind of really, you know what I mean? And my girlfriend saw Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus in concert. So there's that for you. At number 7, Fairly Oddparents. Back over at Nickelodeon. I was more of a Nickelodeon kid than Disney Channel kid, but Fairly Oddparents was so freaking good. I would say my favorite episode from Fairly Oddparents would be the one where like Timmy gets everyone to disappear in the world minus like Trixie, I believe his girlfriend or his like love of his life is, and they're the only ones there, and he realizes she's kind of crazy, and then having everyone be disappeared and just them two together on Earth alone is not the move. It's not the move. You need more people around in the world. That was a cool episode. What I loved about this show is that Timmy always made like a very immature wish and then realized by the end of the episode that his wish kind of wasn't the right move and he had to reverse it. It was always the same every episode, but I tuned in every week. Wanda and Cosmo were such awesome characters. They ended up having a baby, and Cosmo was pregnant with that little baby. It was a cool show, and Vicky, to this day, scared the heck out of me. So I was gonna say it. She was terrifying. At number 6, I can't believe this isn't higher, but they got a reboot recently, which I really liked on Paramount Plus. But iCarly, this show just hit hard for me on every level. There were YouTubers before YouTube was even a thing, before there was even YouTubers. You know, it was just a web show called iCarly. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Why doesn't he say 1? No one knows. But iCarly was such a cool, awesome show because it got me and my friends to kind of get out a camcorder because iPhones weren't even around yet. We had a little camcorder trying to film videos, and they were not good at all. And my favorite episode from this one would be where Sam is like in juvie. She's not in this episode, and Carly and Freddie are trying to run the show, but she needs a co-host, so they ask Spencer to be the co-host. But he has a very sophisticated woman who wears pantyhose coming over for dinner, and her dad is watching. Her dad is never in the show, I think, but for one episode because he's in the military and he gets to watch the show. He's on base in America, so he get to watch this one episode. So Spencer's trying to do the show and be on a sophisticated date all at the same time. Makes it for a very fun episode. It was just a very funny episode, and it kind of hits hard in the feelings at the end where Carly's like, I love you, Dad. Because, you know, she doesn't get to see her dad. It's her and her brother and her best friends making videos on the internet with millions and millions of followers. And I really like the now, adult sitcom version of iCarly. I love it. I wish I did that with more of these. I would watch them all. Breaking us into the top 5 is going to be The Sweet Life on Deck. Not Sweet Life with Zach and Cody, On Deck. This was the coolest thing ever to me. I wanted to be on a ship going around to school, like being around the world while learning on a boat, having fun. I would just want to do it for fun. That's really why I wanted to do it. But my favorite episode from this series would be they all get on a boat and that boat drops off the ship and they go on a stranded island out to survive, and Cody and Bailey are like really fighting on who's the smart person, who's the superior nerd here, and who's going to get them to safety. That was this episode I always sticks in my mind. Kind of like a lot of these. What's the one that sticks most in my mind? When I think of the show, that's the one I think about. Bailey and Cody was a relationship that was so dynamic. You just wanted them to be together so bad. And Zach was always so funny. And London Tipton was absolutely hilarious. Who's your favorite character from Sweet Life on Deck? Let me know that down below. At number 4, Victorious. This is some of the best soundtracks in like cinema, TV, history. I mean, that's how good this soundtrack is. My favorite episode from this one would be the one where Tori's a star in a show and Kat's in a makeup class, so she puts like this big mask on Tori's face, and it's like concrete, so it sticks on there. Trina and Kat have to go get like a remedy to get that big like concrete mask off of Tori's face, and Tori's a star of the show. She's supposed to be this beautiful girl, and it ended up working in their favor because true beauty lies on the inside. Really great music. I love theater. I was a theater kid later years of my high school, so I always loved the theater episodes in this. And the character of Psychowitz was awesome. And like Beck and Jade and Andre and Robbie and Rex. I mean, everyone in the show was just awesome. Trina was she was kind of unbearable. At number 3, SpongeBob SquarePants. There's lots of episodes I love from this show, and there's lots of things that I hold near and dear to my heart. My favorite episode's either going to be the Sweet Victory, where they sing at the Super Bowl, and they sing Sweet, Sweet, Sweet Victory, yeah. The Tie in the Shoes episode, Loop-de-Loop and Pull. Or I could go with the one where SpongeBob forgets the secret Krabby Patty formula, and the guy goes, still no pickles. But my favorite episode is going to be the one where SpongeBob's playing with a little paddle ball and forgets to feed Gary, and Gary runs away, and SpongeBob learns a very valuable lesson. And I learned a very valuable lesson at a very young age about like taking care of your animals, being there for them. They need you in their lives. And SpongeBob was neglecting Gary to tell him to basically go away, and Gary leaves, and he almost gets eaten by a lady who eats the snails. Gary comes back. It was a sad episode. I remember watching the preview for that because the episodes always dropped on Friday after school, and I was always so excited to watch them Friday after school. But like they dropped the preview for that, and I was like, I might cry. Like I was a young 8-year-old kid thinking, this is too sad for me. Very meaningful episode. This show I hold near and dear to my heart. I know my mom was always so annoyed when I watched it, but I absolutely love SpongeBob with my whole heart. You gotta loop-de-loop and pull, and your shoes are looking cool. I literally sing that every time I tie my shoes. It's kind of crazy. My runner-up at number 2, Drake and Josh. Could we just talk about how cool this show is? And didn't you just want to live at that house in San Diego, or work at the premiere, or be Drake in a band playing guitar? Absolutely awesome. I would say my favorite episode from this one. It's tough because there's so many good ones. There's the helicopter episode where they had to skydive at the end because the pilot falls out of the helicopter. You could go with The Bet, the very first episode. You can go with Really Big Shrimp or either of the movies. But I think I'm going to go with the Treehouse episode. That's the one I always think of when I think of Drake and Josh. Like I said, I kind of one I think of the most when I think of these shows. and Drake draws like the magic marker over the door and doesn't saw it, so they can't get it out. And then Megan is being Megan, and she doesn't let them out because she's a Megan. I'm just gonna keep saying Megan, but she doesn't let them out unless they kind of do some things for her. And they ended up breaking through the treehouse. Very funny episode, one that just, it always sticks in my head. And it reminds me of when I used to build things with my dad as a kid, because I wouldn't do it right, and he would yell at me, and I would cry. So that's what it made me think of. So kind of bizarre, but hey, at the end of the day, Treehouse is a very, very, very funny episode. But at number 1, I can't believe it's at number 1, but I thought about it. Like, this is the one show that I've watched probably the most of my life. It's Zoe 101. I absolutely loved everything about it. I was a big Nickelodeon kid, as you can tell from all these on this list. But Zoe 101 PCA Pacific Coast Academy, was one of the coolest things in the world to me. I thought that would have been the coolest thing to go to boarding school, even though I would have been terrified. It would have been awesome to go there. And I wanted to. I love Chase, and I love that he always loves Zoe. I love when we never get them to be together. Chase is kind of gone last season. All of a sudden, they finally come together and cross paths. The very last episode of the show, and they get a new character in James in there, who's Austin Butler, who's about to be the new Elvis. He's kind of blown up, you know. But this show and these characters mean so much to me. I figured it just had to be at number 1. My favorite episode from this one, there's a couple. It could be the one where they're throwing a big pajama surprise party for Chase and his grandmother passes away and they play the song A Million Raindrops. I think, though, my favorite Zoe 101 episode is going to be that spring break hour-long special where they have like the little phone things, you know, and then Chase steals it because he sends to Michael that I'm in love with you. And he has to steal Zoe's thing so she can delete it. So that it all goes under. They're filming a TV show at Logan's dad's house. And Logan, he was this freaking rich butt face. Really awesome, long, almost like a movie album premiere. Or we could go with the Jet X episode. We have to film a commercial in order to win a scooter, a.k.a. a Jet X. I absolutely love Zoe 101. I love the Blakes. I love the world and vibe they created. I love, honestly, everything about Zoe 101, and it's my favorite childhood TV show. Let me know your favorite childhood TV shows down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had so much fun with this video. Hit that thumbs up button for me, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me. Lots more rankings, reviews, and reactions coming this week. I can't wait for all of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.